Alrighty, I am back from a convention trip and a few days of recovery, and it's time to come back to Blueprints somewhat awkwardly after a break from it. The exact scenario I was trying to avoid, but it's too fucking long. It's such a long game. Like, I did my first session of this game before LVFC, and then I came back from LVFC excited to play Blueprints and actually figure out where it's going. Then I played it basically every day for multiple episodes of recording per day, non-stop, all the way up until FWA happened, a convention that's a month later. And I'm still like how? I can't believe how much, and I know how, it's because roguelikes, every game that uses a roguelike formula, it do get padded out. It does make the experience much longer because of all the repetition. What do you mean? Alright, yeah, I was about to hit continue. I'm like, day 50? I did not. That's a higher number than I remember. I don't remember hitting day 49. Wow. Yeah, that would. Whew. This isn't episode 50 though, because it's they're being batched sometimes when they're too short. So this will be an awkward return to form where I kind of just feel the game back out a bit, but also I have at least a few things that I know I'm working on. The big thing is we're trying to get the key. Birdies. We're trying to get the key from the music room, or at least I still think it's the music room, because the clue doesn't really amount to anything else. Yeah, let me get that pen. We already got glasses behind the 8th door. So we have the first key. I was about to read it out, but I actually didn't transcribe the clue in its entirety, so it doesn't really work as the prose it originally had. But yeah, the first key here on furthest rank. Second, locked tight in vault. Got that. We got those two. Third up high among clocks. Got that one. Fourth down below, beneath old docks. Got that one. Fifth, king, throne. Got it. Sixth, station, left by one of our own. Got it. Last, behind the 8th door. Got it. So just the 7th is major if you draft it quite late. So I tried letting the game run for a long time until it was nighttime, and that didn't work. So we're running on two conflicting ideas, which is one is to try to draw the music hall as your last room, and the other one is to try to remove as many keys from the pool as possible. Both of these are very RNG based, so it's kind of really hard to say how to best act on the mantle of the night. Add the armature draw. Okay, that's that, right, okay. I got distracted by it being clickable. These two little symbols down here. Oh, because that's because I've solved 2 of them so far, right? Yeah, that's our other goal we get to work on, is that, Blessing of the Monk is still active. So using the Blessing of the Monk, one of my ideas is I want to spawn the music room as late as possible this run with the hopes that I can get the key. But if I fail to get the key from it, then as a sort of last hurrah effort to try to get this effect to work, my next thing I want to test is I would like to use the Blessing of the Monk, which I have written down. You get it for $13? Yeah. So I can get this blessing over and over again and try to keep using it for things. I was going to try to use it for something with the mechanical thing, but we can go for the... we can try it for this now. But, if this run does not result in me getting the Sanctum Key, my next experiment to see if I can get it from the music room would be to, just try to log out in the music room, and then Blessing of the Monk would allow me to spawn it over here in this room, and then I would just, next run, not have a seed room here, play the entire run as best I can, try to max out the entire building, then come over here and spawn the music room after my run, would be my idea at that point. Trading post. Yeah, I think we have to go for this trading post. Just because there's a chance that I might be able to get the trading post to let me trade items for certain keys. It's hard to say which ones and how. But it's another desperate move to try to maximize my effects. Because we're essentially trying to spawn as many rooms as possible that spawn keys. And we're trying to spawn as many... And this is the part I have way less control over, I think. We want to get as many dice as we can. Because I need to be able to, with the power of dice, hello. I guess I'll do that right now, yeah. Awkward dead end right at the beginning, but it's my ghost. Oh, it's specifically the demon angel thing. The devil angel. Dice. But I want to spawn as many dice as I can because I want to be able to avoid the music room as long as possible, but then I want as many re-rolls as possible right at the end to try to actually guarantee getting it. Because the problem with this entire thing about drawing it as late as possible is that it comes up organically in the deck at some point, and if you keep skipping it because you're trying to hold it for later, then you might get to the last slot and then it just doesn't draw, and then you're like, well, fuck me, and then the whole run's wasted. So you want as many rerolls as possible, try to force it to draw. A classroom would be helpful for that, but only mainly if you have a bunch of classrooms, but even that would be hard to control, because then you have to specifically draw the classroom as your penultimate room, and how do you make that happen, and blah blah blah. So I don't love the conditions of this particular challenge. Let's see. Hunt with Lord Evanson. We're going to be reviewing notes again going forward as best as I can. Any like lore stuff, because we are trying to solve what might be the game's hardest puzzle, which is trying to figure out all the specifics of every country, and like there's no straightforward history book you can just read that gives you everything you need here. You need to like piece together a bunch of environmental clues to figure out like, oh, that's the train kingdom and stuff like that. And given that for the longest time I was struggling to even keep track of what the countries are and so on, it's been its own struggle to keep track of that stuff. So it's like, just because there's the historical quirk of where one of the countries functionally replaced the other one and so on. Welcome to Mount Holly, your home, Baron of Reddington. I'm confident that I'm at this point capable of identifying and remembering that we in fact are dealing with Reddington and Mount Holly as the local area. Do I know what's in this picture really? There's mountains, clouds, I guess. Let's see, hopefully we'll get a door here that opens things up in the layout a bit. Yeah, we definitely have, so this isn't great for that. I guess I'll go right, since my only option is otherwise is left, and there's no option that opens things up really. But yeah, so we're trying to get the Sanctum key. We're trying to solve as much lore stuff as I can. And I have a variety of goals that are all helpful towards me trying to run the RNG, but none of it's very conclusive and helpful. I still have open office open. There's a unhelpful number of tabs open at once. There we go. Okay. The black tab, what? The black box is true. The gems are in the true box. The blue box is true. They're both accusing the other one of being true. So if this one is false, then the blue box would be false because it's calling the black box true. These are both in a... This is interesting. So these are in a feedback loop of calling each other true, and if either of them are wrong, then the other one becomes wrong. But then this one's actually a separate thing. The gems are in the true box. If these are both true at each other, and this one's wrong, then the gems are in the false box, which would be this one. Which narrows it down to 1, and that's usually how this works. Yep. Ta-da! That's funny. They're just both vouching for each other, and it's like, right. They are both right, and they are both correct in vouching for each other. It's just that you need to always avoid making the mistake of thinking that true equals has gems. I really want the attic, but not yet. I don't want to cut off the entire right side of the map and then be back down to one door already. Not that there's really consequences for starting over. There's some consequences. I would actually lose my current approach. My current strategy with the Blessing of the Monk would go away, unless I happen to draw the tomb next. But then I would be doing the tomb in a run where I don't get to have a bottom corner here. Aw. Yeah, then I'd be doing the tomb, which means that I wouldn't have the trading post, which has its own usefulness. God, look how that blends in. Like, it's not invisible, it's a magnifying glass. It's just, it's in a location where it makes sense for it to be, so it doesn't stand out as weird. I'm sure I've missed so many items this playthrough, because it's just easy to miss them, because they're often in places where they make sense. Special flowers, key, apple. That's the Northern Cross, we don't want that. This is a diamond, though. What's this one? Oh, slice. Oh, shit, these are all separate. The twins. Chest in the opening room, 3 steps, 1 gem, 1 key. Apples are stronger, more gems. I don't think I want the 4-way things to become more common, because that's more red rooms, mostly. Yeah. And in particular, the rooms I'm trying to spawn are often closets and dead ends, because I want to be able to... so a skull would be helpful in its own way, because we're trying to spawn all the rooms that spawn loot, and those are frequently dead ends. We'll leave it there, but that's, this is the day where 8 symbols happen. I think we were told that would happen. It's interesting that I have 49 stars. So we very nearly have the same number of stars as the day that it is, which is interesting both because there are days where I would not have spawned an observatory at all, and there's also the fact that I want the closet, but let's do the commissary. There's days where I would have not spawned this at all, and there's also the fact that I traded my allowance with my star count and depleted it that one time. So it's interesting that I've been able to replenish it so much via that other mechanic that it is basically caught up with the day count. Salt shaker, sledgehammer, metal detector, and now we know that the front door has a sledgehammer spot, so that's good. And I have so much money now that I can just have all these gems. Like, the gem and step economy is just so much easier to deal with now, given the fact that I can just clear out the commissary. But we are still dependent on the RNG of what the commissary actually gives you each run. Doop doop. Doo-doo. Someone said take a drink every time he says RNG, and then I responded by copy-pasting the term RNG for what was like the maximum amount of characters you can have in a comment. Sorry for using the accurate term for what's going on in the game. It is a roguelike, and you are always trying to play against the randomness and figure out how to proceed. Have I blanked and not checked stuff that I was vowing to check? Only time will tell. It's always a process trying to figure out what to pick out of each room, detail-wise. Like, what should I be adding to my notes for the countries that I might be forgetting? Compass. Magnifying glass. Metal detector. That's the fire maker, right? I'd rather have my metal detector for now, but I believe I can make that now. But I also don't know if there's any more torch puzzles for me to solve anymore. That might be over. Somewhat awkward right turn options. Guess I'll go for the one that has a key. And sometimes more than a key. But not this time. Library is less useful at this point because I don't need to spawn the bookshop, and we have already read every book, and I've tried to get them all screenshotted so that we can review them indefinitely without spawning the library. To the point where I think I'd basically like to remove the library from the draw pool if I could, which isn't really an option. But it's like it gets in the way of me spawning other rooms that would be helpful. The laboratory. Do. Experiment setup. Remove a crate from the tunnel. Gain 1 key from every 2 hallways in your house. Add a small chest to the entrance hall. How many can I add? First time you enter the room on the 9th rank, draft a red room, lose 5 steps in this. 2 or more gems. Alright. Let's do this. Combine. I'm curious how many chests you can add to the entrance hall. So I just want to see the absurdity of that happening as much as possible. And I would like to just sledgehammer all those chests. I'm trying to remember, I think you might be able to spawn unique keys in chests, at least sometimes. Maybe just the silver key, I don't know. Packet management. Create custom packet. Let's see. Security door. 2 more gems drafting a room. I want to remove the crate one because it spawns constantly, but at this point I believe we've finished that entire mechanic, so I shouldn't have that in my pool anymore, and I should have removed it before I did this. Open a chest. Bedroom. Find trash while digging. Smile room. View your map's a pretty good one. Antechamber lever. That can be up to 6 times, so it can be strong. Upgraded floor plan. There are a fair number of those, but you might have drawn them before you got here. Draft a red room. A room on rank 9. Oh, it's 8 or more. Draft a room within the next 40 seconds. That's kind of cursed. Next 3 times you open a chest is pretty limiting because it's just 3. I feel like I don't get that many bedrooms. Okay, gain 1 key. Set yourself to 40 is pretty good. Chest. Gain a star. 3 gold for each red room in your house, but we don't have stuff like to do with dirt. To do with gold. I haven't done the spread dirt and driveway yet. I'd like to do that one too, in addition to how I'm currently trying to do the one with chests. In both cases, like, get another reward for your shovel versus get another reward for your sledgehammer. This could be interesting. Add 3 aquariums to your draft pool is beautifully cursed, but I don't think I have any actual use for it, like goals that would be set around that idea. Set your dice is interesting. Yeah, we're done with the letters, I believe. Allowance is technically something worth doing. Stock your pantry with fruit. Lower the reservoir by 1 is interesting. Unseal one of the doors of the antechamber is kind of wild. Permanently increase your lockpicking skill. Gain 1 random item and set your keys to 0 is terrifying. Lose half your steps, then gain 4 ivory dice. That is interesting. It's a way of getting dice. I wouldn't pick it normally, but if it comes up as an option, you might choose not to pick it for a while, and then you might do something like picking, like, open your map, and you lose half your steps and gain 4 ivory dice, and then you can spam it for a while to get a fuck ton of dice, and then cause a specific room to spawn, which might be interesting, but you'd be potentially out of steps based on how hard you spam, so you might not be able to, in any way, do anything besides successfully spawn the room. So it'd be a run-ending thing? I don't know how viable or helpful that would be. And I'm not sure if I'm still not sure if, like, lower the reservoir by 1 permanently removes water from the system. It's like at some point you'd be removing your ability to cross the reservoir with a boat. It would definitely be somewhat helpful to be able to permanently drain, like, stuff like the pool and not have to deal with it anymore. There's a few places you want to get rid of water, but you want water to be in the kitchen. And you want the ability to raise the water in the reservoir, but it would be nice if you could completely drain the... how many do I have right now? Or if I'm still up by 1 more. These are all decent, though. I think I'll keep these. Alright. Yeah, I'd like to be able to drain the well, because I think it's not helpful to have water in the well or the pool. It's just an obstacle. Reservoir goes back and forth. Having it full of water or empty serves different purposes. If you ever want to be able to reach that secret tunnel again, you need the reservoir. Which I might want to access again, because it might give me information that I haven't pieced together yet about the countries that I might have failed to piece at the time. Hello. Does it trigger right now? Huh. That's a really rare item. So it doubles constellation effects, but I didn't see my gem. I didn't see my I didn't get another gem and another key. So maybe it only affects if you get that item then the observatory. I don't know if you can go back to the observatory and click them again, maybe, to get the leftover effect. Although I can spawn a second observatory, which means yeah, there it is. I'd rather use the den to open up my layout here, because it's not doing great. Once again, having mixed feelings about going this far north. But the game really... there's not really the clearest answers on how best to proceed in these cases. On one hand, the game kind of tells you to try to build bottom to top and exhaust the lower stuff as much as possible and spawn things there. But on the other hand, you lose so many steps going all the way back, especially if you go back and forth over and over again, and some of these runs get killed by me running out of steps. To this day. This is the 0415 one, right? Yeah. So I've still got mixed feelings on my own strategy, just not the most set in stone solution. Was there beeping? There it is. Not great, but we can redraw for free. We definitely want a more open floor plan around this part of the map. Or it could screw me. Alright, so turn in the same direction as the other room, or just deal with one of these. I might as well spawn the attic. It's a high value room. It doesn't cost me anything besides an awkward bit of spacing. And it lets me remove as many items from the item pool as possible. Although it's spawning a fair number of currencies right now. Oh, there's all the pieces of the super sludge in my inventory. Look how easily it can arrive in your inventory when you don't want it. I don't know if it's physically... Ooh, there we go, a garden key. That's one of my actual goals. The room just below the antechamber. I will forget, but thankfully it'll gesture for me to do it. This is the bit about how they had to censor it, right? April 12th. The Red Prince. Ruffington's catalog. Ruffington Red Publishing, Children's Book Department, 205 Consetta Court. I don't think it really adds anything that I'd interpret via my current goal of getting what I need for the country details. Just an indicator that this country that we're in is quite unfond of the political implications that she was putting in the story. Burr, 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 burr. The hallway's okay, but the primary benefit is getting a right turn that I already have access to, so let's maybe hope for a better redraw. The throne room. Throne room is expensive and weird. I can take a look at it again, I guess. Experiment successful, I guess so, yeah. I don't know if there's a puzzle in this room right now. That's like one you do via this room. I can do that though. Arguably the least helpful, the least useful lever given how reliable the other one is. But it saves you a trip potentially. A Black King. Does not... Oop. Let's see here. Is that the country I already have filled in? I keep wanting to review the symbols on the floor in that room. This weird tab, the tongue depressor, is one of the countries, or one of the icons we have around. Let's see here. Okay, ultimately this is the same sigil that was in the secret garden. I have a screenshot of that already from there, so it's not, either way it's not new information. I have a terrible memory for like the iconography on this stuff, so I'm so notes dependent on this entire part of the puzzle that we're dealing with, because I struggle to remember what each part of the sigil means. I struggle to remember what any of the individual symbols that make them up mean. I really struggle to remember what any of the symbols mean as far as like which countries they are. And also what my previous confusion was, where I had like... I do remember that I was trying to figure out what was going on with, was it Fen Ares versus Orinda Ares is like a weird contradiction going on. Where they seem to point to the same part of the map or something. It's been a bit of a struggle. Alright, well I'm out of keys. And I just ate through a lot of my supplies with my, my gems as well. No! I just realized that I accidentally clicked on one of my dice. Oh, that sucks! I accidentally clicked on my dice instead of the drafting room, so I used what I thought was the drafting room's free redraw, and it used my fucking dice. There's a couple here. Ah, that's annoying. Oh, at least I've spawned 2 of my rooms that I have edited to spawn dice with. I was watching a friend play the beginning of the game a little bit, and I was immediately like, give a slightly visceral reaction to somebody opening a safe, but they do it backwards compared to how you do it. They reverse the 2 months, and you're like, no, you can't do that. Observatory, I guess? But then I think I'm gonna have to turn back because I don't want to open the next door, because it could be... Telescope? Whoa. The inkwell. You may spend stars to draw new floor plans. What? Okay. That'll make it easier to cause that to happen. But then it'll also catastrophically spend my stars, so we definitely won't be able to do it again. Telescope, you're being weird. You can't cause this effect to happen twice, telescopes. You're kind of wasted. I don't think you can. Okay, so I can spend my stars to draw more floor plans this run. That's kind of wild. I thought you needed the pool to draw the boiler room. Yeah, there it is, the redraw. Do the hallway. The classroom. Not a very helpful place for the classroom, but... I wonder if they're implying that this is the cap for stars, like they're just not particularly helpful or useful at this point. They probably still keep recombining a variety of different things, constellations, indefinitely for a while, but you probably meant to spend them now to keep sending them back down, but then you have to earn your way back up to 50 over and over again, maybe via an experiment or just by playing that many more days. Like, if I spend 8 stars re-rolling, I have to spend 8 in-game days getting back to that number, unless, although it's variable, I have 2 observatories in my deck, and so on. The vestibule is just kind of useless in this location. Unless I want to reach the antechamber, but I don't think I do. So who cares about the antechamber? The main thing the vestibule would do is eat through my gem library, my gem collection, and then spawn a chest downstairs. Classroom lets me force a little more RNG. Somewhere in this room is where the loot is. I'm already here. But where is it? Apple. Oh, right. I have 1 million items in my inventory, but none of them are a shovel. Whoops. Bit of embarrassing moment. Okay. But yeah, I already solved what the 3 flags that this room tells you are. But a classroom is potentially full of government signifiers, so it's worth doing another look around to see what I might have missed. It's mostly just like cubbies, unlabeled boxes, colors is the weird 8. Yeah. I'm down to only special keys, and we don't want to spend... I actually can't, can I? Yeah, it's the secret gardenway key. You can't put that there. Yeah, we can't open this door, so we gotta go back. Oh, these are both locked. So 2 locked doors and 1 door I don't want to open yet. So there's definitely time to head back then. That's a dead end. Don't fall for it. Don't lose the steps so easily. One day I'll have some kind of context for these weird letters. The fact that it changes every day is interesting. Man, there's so many spots to shovel. The music room. That would be bad. Because I'm still... I mean, technically... Well, I haven't filled in my castle yet, but... We technically don't have to spawn at the highest rank. That's just kind of intuitive, although I feel like it constantly tries to spawn at the highest rank. Was that the coin purse? Okay, I thought it took another coin. I'm like, what? I didn't leave and come back. Still waiting for the chance to crack that open and really get anything out of it, but that would require a run where it would be beneficial to have a lot of money to spend, and that keeps not lining up, really. Gah. I want the breaker box, but I'm inclined to use the passageway so I can open this area up and actually avoid failing to fill this chunk of map in. The Cloister of Rena, kind of poorly placed right now. Green spare room. Shovel! Now I can shovel the spots when I go back to the north. And I can also get all those broken open when I get the chance to go back down there. I guess I'm kind of avoiding going there right now with the goal of, Oop, there's some more special keys. Yay! Because I know that I can sledgehammer the boxes I'm spawning down there, so I'm kind of trying to spawn as many as I can now. Uh-oh. Out of keys. I need to spawn the locksmith. I have the money. I could get a whole lot more if I really needed to. But they need to give me the locksmith. Ooh, that's bad. Do I think I'm gonna need the nurse's station? Do the break room. Solve a puzzle, maybe get something. There's something here sometimes, but there's always something in the puzzle solution. Who are you and how'd you get in here? I'm a locksmith and I'm a locksmith. 10 minus 10 is 0, times 18 is 0, plus 10 is 10. They like to set it to 0 a lot. 3, 5, 6, 6 squared is 36, minus 20 is 16, times 2 is 32, divided by 2 is 16. -4 plus 1 is -3. Squared is 9, divided by... It's divided by 9 is 1. my brain paused on the idea of subtract by 9, and I was like, wait, no, the answer can't be 0. There's no 0. Silver key! Okay, so we have the secret garden key and the car keys and the silver key, which are 3 of the most common special keys that actually that are in the larger spawn pool. The big one I'm hoping to get now is I want to spawn the locksmith, and I'm hoping that I can then get the locksmith to sell me the prismatic key, which is the one that I keep getting from the music room. Then it'll be removed from the pool, and they'll have to give me, hopefully, the sanctum key. But it might still give me a vault key, which is a little upsetting. Oh, this is terrible. Guess I can take the kitchen. We do have doors up there, I just need keys to actually go in them. Some steps added. Plus 5 steps for every green room in your house. I don't think I... Okay, so I have the coupon book and the salt shaker, so this is actually a lot of steps right now. I have 1 green room, so that is a bad purchase right now, but maybe one day. Does this room ever have tools in it that I miss because it's just a room full of tools that you can't pick up? Like, I think about that. Just for a moment I saw the kettle and I'm like, is that a thing in this game? The kettle? Because it vaguely feels like a portable object I could pick up for whatever reason, so what if, who knows? A key for every bedroom in your house would not be bad. 1, 2, 3, 4 keys, at least. We're about to close this chunk of the map up, so the boiler room is probably not that great to spawn. And maybe a bonus key sometimes? Nope. Let's see here. I don't think this one particularly indicates lore. This is someone's departure as an employee. But I don't think it particularly adds anything to my interpretations of the countries. That's just a weight thing. Scale, that's what it's called. There's so much world around you all the time that it's interesting even trying to think about when you should be thinking about that stuff and when it might come up. Pantry would dead end. Nurse's station would give me potential steps. Furnace is not great. I have a lot more steps now, so the nurse's station is not like that it could be coming up right now. I think I might do a redraw. The weight room. Yep, storeroom is alright. It's a dead end, but it lets me collect some of these finite goods. What with how the keys are what's keeping me from continuing right now. Let's go ahead and pay a visit to the front area. I get to dig these spots up too. I'll have at least 3 chests to open, because 2 of them were spawned in the front room by the observatory, and at least 1 of them was spawned by the experiment. Maybe more than 1. I have lost count. Or more specifically, I have not necessarily actively noticed the notification. So what is this one? Is this going to say room 49 or 50? Okay. Key, gem, apple... slice, twins. So do I get another pair of chests? Are there 5 chests in the room now? I just got those other bonuses, right? Don't remember if this room had a chest. Yeah. That's at least 5. Any more? Okay, so some of the experiment has only generated 1 so far, I think, but we've generated 2 of them via the other thing. 3 more keys? This is gonna be a bit silly, isn't it? The same loot, basically. This is the fantasy I thought I'd get to fulfill. Yay, dice! This is what I thought I'd get to do with the, that bottom of the reservoir, but I'm pretty sure they're not breakable because they don't have little locks hanging off them. Okay, things are going alright. I might pay a visit outside before I go deeper inside, just so I can see what in my inventory I might be able to trade for gems. At least, yeah, but I'll do this corner first. The music room again, to taunt me. Also, I should be rolling the dice first, not the... Yeah, the usefulness of the dice has been reduced because of me getting the constellation effect, but yeah, I should be rolling the dice first because I do lose those at the end of the run if I don't spend them, whereas the constellations are persistent. I'm a bit mixed. The breaker box is obviously valuable to have, but I want to reach the corner and be able to affect the conservatory that usually spawns there. I'm hoping for like a hallway type thing. Corridor is always left unlocked as a bit of a waste. The vault, but I don't have money uses. I don't know, we'll see. I just want to give myself the chance to spawn the conservatory. Even though it might not even give me the option to edit rooms that are actually helpful to edit. Pantry... Blah, blah, blah. We didn't get lucky this time. I think I'm gonna use the utility closet. It's fine. We're at least removing more things from the pool by filling in more of the map. The keycard system is off. Gymnasium is off. Garage is on. Did I spawn the dark room? No, I thought about it. Then I spawned the break room. Yeah. Okay. It doesn't hurt to have the utility closet thing set up because I am now going towards the top of the map where I am more likely to generate some security doors, and I have so far not generated a single one, I think. So the RNG is probably going to turn on me soon. I don't know if it's weighted at all, like if there's always X number of security doors as a minimum, and then therefore the more you don't draw them, the more likely you are to draw them or something. Let's see if I can trade anything that I don't need for keys. Sleeping mask. Dice. Sleeping mask. Lockpick. Sleeping mask. The prism key trade. I don't even need the telescope anymore. Okay, we have the prism key. That's great news. I might actually get what I want here. But that depends a lot on whether or not I'm even right in my approach in the first place. I don't know if the hall pass counts as a key. Oh, wait, no, doesn't it give you, like... Is it that hallways are always unlocked, or something always I think it's like a thing that affects hallways and does something special. I have 3 pages of things to trade, but they're mostly just things I can trade for sleeping masks. So we want... Actually, yeah, I think we're down to just vault keys. Yeah, I don't think the lockpick counts as a key. Like, I don't think the game's gonna spawn a lockpick in the music room. And I feel like the stuff like the... I feel like the 8 key isn't an option. But I could be wrong, unfortunately. But that just depends on me spawning the gallery or not, if I want to get that. And I have no idea if there's any particular rules for when the gallery spawns or not. I feel like it always spawns for me somewhere in the low ranks on the west side. But that could just be arbitrary. Okay, so we have the secret garden key, the prism key, the silver key, and the car keys. That's 4 of the relatively common-ish normal pool special keys. I think the game might have suggested at some point that there was 8 special keys, or it might just be conflating every other use of the word of the number 8 in the game. But if that's the case, I have 4 of them, and I'm hoping for the 8th one, so there's only 3 more in play, and I don't know if those ones count. Because there might be a variety of keys that are kind of just like not in play, essentially. I don't know how powerful the music room is for spawning keys, and whether or not it'll just like spawn crazy keys that don't fit. Dirigiblocks. It might exist one day. Allegedly. Chapel passage, spare room, bedroom. Okay, so yeah. Go west to access the west area of the castle, which we're not done with yet. It's wild having this much economy of stuff. Like, I have 50 steps, 12 keys, 11 gems, and 50 coins. And 4 dice. And also, like, 49 soft dice. It's becoming more and more common as we play this game, though, to just have, like, insane resources. Okay, locker room, sauna, and pump room. Not boiler room. Got it. Mix those up sometimes. We do want to spawn the pool, maybe? Might affect... Okay, so it's already depleted. So that's good. I can at least get these. Which, for all I know, might have a special key in them. Or the exact same spawn, down to the color, in both of them. I can't remember if those boxes have ever had a special key. And if they have, whether it's ever been any key other than the silver key. Which is definitely the most common special key. Although I think you can't have 2 at the same time. And I think I never have. Here's a chance to open the layout a bit. Or more gems and 2 more keys. Jeez. So we would like a left turn. A coat check. Oh, I don't remember what's even there. Aquarium is fine. But now that I'm pointing down, I don't have much use for the ladies' room right now, I don't think. So I think I would like to spawn a southern pointing locksmith or something. I don't really need a storeroom anymore. The solarium is kind of weird. I feel like its usefulness has gotten muddied because I've been editing the rarity of rooms, so I don't even know which rooms I'm making more common anymore. Because I've made a lot of the less common rooms more common. And so that might then turn them back around to being rarer again. Which would be kind of bad. The kennel, I'm doing fine on keys, so who cares? Get the vault out of the way as a dead end. Vaguely helpful. Maybe even draw the showroom and have that be useful. I think the vault might sometimes, it doesn't, but I think the vault might sometimes have key card in it. These vaults unfortunately do not give you a gem each time. Not that I need them this run, but it'd be conceptually helpful if they did. Alright, we're just trying to fill in this top corner, and then I'll go back to the observatory on the right, and then try to spawn the music room there by brute force, and just hope it works out. And if it doesn't work out, I guess I'll try sleeping in that room. to cause it to spawn next run. I don't need to spawn the garage because I don't need the keys, and I'm not trying to open the garage. Gift shop for coverage, I guess. Let's see. We already got the plushie, so there's actually nothing left to buy here until these other things show up eventually. This kind of is a wasted room. Yeah. I kind of would like to remove this room from the draw pool. But that's not necessarily even a mechanic in this game, I think. Besides just making it way rarer, I guess. Here's the showroom. What are they selling? The moon pendant's always nice. The ornate compass. You can rotate them. Just don't have to pay gems. I have gems, I'm fine. If I gain steps, gain twice as many steps. Damn. I guess I'll just buy it and the moon pendant. I don't know how badly I'm going to need to rotate rooms these next few runs as far as spending 50 coins goes. But I also don't know what else I'd spend the coins on. I already cleared out the commissary. There's one food item left in the kitchen. Bookstore doesn't exist. I guess I'll buy the compass. Maybe I'll get to keep it next run because of the moon pendant. Literally, I'm just like actively like I don't know what to do with money anymore. The game's like here's so much money, and I'm like, what do you do with money? And the game's like, here's so much money. Launder currency. Don't particularly want to rotate my current pools. I guess I'll bite the bullet with the maid's chamber just to make sure I fill in this top corner. We're trying to fill in as much of the layout as I can. This makes me less likely to find random loot items, but we're less likely for that to matter at this point. We're running out of draws. The music room. The locksmith. That's what we're hoping for. I was getting ready to start brute forcing it with my resources to make it spawn. Alright, special key. Oh. Where is it? Silver key. Secret garden key, prism key, silver key, car keys. Didn't I already have a silver key? Do I have 2 of them now? Can you have 2 of them, or does the game just screw you? Either way, I realized my potential mistake of spending that much money when I was trying to spawn the locksmith to buy a special key. But I did have just enough, so it worked out, but kind of blanked on my goal a little bit there. More dig spots? Nay, we are but men. We know that when you power, it's more likely to draw a powered room. Although I'm not sure what I'd want to do with the powered room right now, so I guess I'm just doing it out of habit because of all the times I needed powered rooms. A bad room and a bad room. Well, I guess the dark room being powered means that it would be forced to be light. Spread keys throughout the house, but we don't care. I guess this is just a chance to, like, open some more lockers and see what's inside them. I don't want to spend all my keys. I need at least 2 more so I can open these 2 doors just in case. But I do still have a lot more keys that I don't know what to do with. More gems. Why? You can only open so many of these lockers. The key card. Okay, that's good. The key card is out of the pool. I can't remember, but I feel like I maybe have spawned the key card in the classroom before. I think that might be the last normal RNG key. The Grotto. Where is the rumored room 46 moon connection? Yeah, this is all irrelevant. I've already solved room 46. It doesn't seem to have any signifiers for stuff that I'm looking for. I don't like that how long has that orange been there? That is so many steps, by the way. It shows the salt shaker animation, and then it shows the spoon animation. So you take an orange, add 1 to its pool, then double the result. And that's a lot of steps. Then every time I get money, I get a coin purse notification. Like, it's just so many bonuses firing at once. Oh, the shoes. Hello. That improves my step economy even more. Alright, I can reasonably spend 1 more key. There we go. Alright, so yeah, okay, that more or less worked out. Key card was one of the things I was saying I wanted to find. My inventory looks bugged. There's a blank space here. Is this supposed to be a second silver key, but the game freaked out? Also, I still haven't seen a single security door, which is really weird at this point. We're having a bit of a weird run. I'm surprised the game spawned a second silver key, because yes, I do think I already had a silver key, if I remember correctly. It's kind of weird that the game did that when it could have spawned... Hello. It's weird that it did that when the key card was still in the pool, which really feels like it counts as a key for its own purposes. I already opened that. Alright guys, I don't know. We'll see if this finally pans out in some way, I'm hoping. I might want to spawn the music room here if I can, because I don't know, I feel like I've never seen it spawn in the corner. Could be wrong, but yeah. Redraw, we're just gonna brute force until the music room hopefully spawns. I would like to be done with this particular thing, please. Alright. Time to start spending stars and hoping that it doesn't... Okay, there we go. I only ended up spending 2 stars so far. The music room, please. I'm begging you. God damn it. Safe deposit box. This is an obnoxious challenge, or I'm wrong about my goal here, which would suck, because I don't really know, I still don't have a lead on what major means. Might need to review that A New Clue book, which does say major at one point. Man, I did everything, but then it's still the vault key. Yeah, there's 3 vault keys, that's rude. Okay. I suppose surely it can only spawn a vault key if I haven't personally used it yet. Then it's probably gone forever, right? Wine cellar, I guess? I don't know. These aren't relevant anymore. Something with metal? Another key. Okay. So let's go back down to the vault. Also, for number of green rooms, 1, 2, 3? If I find my way back in the kitchen, I can get 15 steps from that one thing. Where is the kitchen? Can I get to the vault? I believe means I can get there via the boiler room. Commissary's all the way down. No, not commissary. Other one, kitchen, is not that close to the vault. Okay, we're probably fine on steps. Let's open up this vault door and remove this vault key from the pool. And I don't know, maybe I have to do this exact thing again, but then the vault key is gone, and so it can't spawn that one and screw me with that way. I'm gonna try resting in that room next to try to spawn it the latest I possibly can, which is in the bonus room at the end when I'm done with my entire run. Ooh, this might be lore. Wait. Sanctum key. I thought I already got a sanctum key from one of these. Or was it a red letter? Huh. Okay. Uh-oh. Second Loctite in the vault. Am I wrong about how many doors are locked right now? I guess I'm about to find out because I'm about to spend this, so I might not be able to afford to go back to the music room to do what I'm trying to do. Uncle, thank you again for all your help. I know I could never hope to repay you, but it pains me to know that I won't even have the chance to try. At any rate, I'm leaving these extra funds behind, as well as the extra passports. It would be too risky if we were searched at the border, and the money would raise too many suspicions. I think we all want a clean start anyway. I know I do. Mary. You left the passports, all on different things that are less likely to be discovered individually. Like, the multiple passport, the fact that there were multiple at least. Okay, I now need to get to the foundation. And maybe go one past the foundation to buy that extra steps food. This room cost me a little less to walk through. And I thankfully have running shoes, so this whole underground part should cost significantly less. God damn it. I mixed up the commissary and the kitchen again. I keep thinking about it as one of the places that you could technically get food in, like, prison and whatnot. I can go buy those steps as a bonus when I'm on my way back out. But for now, let's get in there, spend the sanctum key, and try to reconcile a mistake I might have made. I was genuinely surprised to find a vault sanctum key. I don't know if... I wonder if people have been yelling at me over something. Either way, it's kind of hard to blame me, because you're still just like... Well, I mean, the mistake's the mistake, if it is, but... You'd still just be waiting for me to RNG into getting the fucking vault key and getting to spend it, which is kind of out of my hands. But it is funny that me trying so hard to get a key to spawn would get me that. How many of you are open? Oh. Oh, man. Okay. Poof. I get it. So we got a sanctum key. Right at the beginning we had 2 sanctum keys, right? I think one of them was from the 46th room, and then there was another one. And since I had just opened the vault, and that was a major thing, I must have thought I got the key from the vault and forgotten. Was my first or second sanctum key from the music room, and I forgot, and I keep trying to spawn it there, and it keeps not happening? Did I solve this? I think I was in a situation where I solved this puzzle by accident. Because I just happened to spawn the music room late, because I usually spawn it late. I think it's just a rare room, so it spawns... it's just more like to spawn late because you've depleted your deck more. So I think I just already had the key, and have now put a lot of effort into trying to get the key when it was never there, which is... What a playthrough then. Jeez. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a failure of my notes. That's wild that I mixed it up if that's the case. But, that sucks. It would be helpful if the game gave you any more help keeping track of which ones you've actually found from that. Like if they were checked off of the list or something. But it's gotta be my list. But yeah, if you forget where you got the keys, there's no way to like check again besides recreating the conditions that you got them from again. But most of them wouldn't even be like, here's where a sanctum key was, but it's gone now. It would just be the lack of anything. And you're like, is this the right spot? Or was it somewhere else? Okay. I can now solve this puzzle, kind of. Let me just double check. So I've solved this already, right? This is the one that's just like around? Yes, okay. Yeah, this is the one that's just on stuff. That's why, yeah, it's down here. So 2 of these are solved, 6 of them are unsolved. Let's review my notes to see if... I haven't really gained any new stuff. Let's see.